This week on Instant Classics, as you will see at the end of the week for the Dr. Duke Show, we're going to feature some individuals who are being canceled by the progressive left. One of them is Adam Smith, the great economist. And so what we're going to do is, since they're going to cancel him, we're going to give him some publicity. This is a whole week dedicated to the economic theory of Adam Smith. He was born in 1723, 1790. He died a complete and total figure of the Enlightenment. He was a Scottish economist, a philosopher, a pioneer of political economy, and a key figure during the Scottish Enlightenment, also known as the father of economics. He's your daddy, economics, or the father of capitalism. Smith wrote two classic works, really important books. One is called The Theory of Moral Sentiments, and the other one is his magnum opus, The Wealth of Nations, which is the Bible of emergent capitalism. So, Adam Smith, you got it right in all the ways that Karl Marx would get it wrong 100 years later. So let's take a look at some quotes from Adam Smith. I have never known much good done by those who affected to trade for the public good. Oh, wait a minute. Stop. He just called out all the progressive left, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and cancel culture. Go back to the quote. I have never known much good be done by those who affect to trade for the public good. Those whose job is public welfare, public safety, social justice. You know, the funny thing is, not much good ever gets done by them. How about this one? Virtue is more to be feared than vice, because its excesses are not subject to the regulation of conscience. That's a brilliant quote. C.S. Lewis would say something like it a couple hundred years later. Let me parse that. Virtue is more frightening. We should be worried about people with excessive virtue over people with excessive vice. Why? Because its excesses are not subject to the conscience. When people do bad things, they engage in vice, the conscience, at least, Adam Smith says, makes them feel a little bad for it. But when people do bad things in the name of excessive virtue, when they go overboard on sanctimony and self-righteousness, there is no regulation of conscience. In other words, the more extreme your virtue signaling, the less conscience will bother you as you try to cancel and shut down anybody who stands in your way. And finally, the real tragedy of the poor is the poverty of their aspirations. I love it. I get it. There are some people who tumble into poverty, but it's not their fault. Other people are born into it. But look at what that means, especially in a free country like ours. The real tragedy of the poor, so many of our poor, is the poverty of their aspirations. They aim higher in nothing, not their only worldview, but in their own ambitions. They don't aim any higher than the poverty they find themselves in, which guarantees that they're going to stay poor.